Welcome to Step Up Unfiltered, the home of uncensored conversations with extraordinary individuals, bringing you life's biggest challenges and tackling division. Bless up, trainer. Done me a massive favour because I am late today, guys. I messed up. We all do sometimes, but I am late to my first podcast episode. But do you know what? We're all human. So this episode will be on Luton Urban Radio, as usual. Second and fourth Thursday on every month. However, today this is a bonus episode. I'm bringing you two guests for the first time ever. So yeah, we got a lit episode. Wagwan. So yeah, today's gonna be a juicy episode. Cindy's about to go in as well. She's got a massive live story. So yeah, we're gonna get to business today. So YouTube, Step Up Unfiltered, Spotify, Step Up Unfiltered, and let's get into the episode. Right, Cindy.
Hello.
Full name, age, profession, and a fun fact that not everybody knows about yourself.
Ooh, the
Cindy,
fun fact.
come in a little bit.
The fun fact is probably going to be the hardest bit.
Alright, let's go.
Okay, so my name's Cindy Williams. I'm 34 years old.
Jeez.
What's the next thing?
34, bless years. And then profession and a fun fact.
Okay, my profession, I would just say I'm a Jill of all trades. Talking's probably my best profession. No, but at the moment I am a freelance stylist.
Okay, nice.
And a student, I forgot. I'm a student as well recently.
You're a student?
Yes,
okay,
I
what,
just
yeah,
started.
uni? Or
No, so I'm in the middle of uni. I'm still, uni is many moons ago, but I'm pursuing something I should have done a long time ago, just beauty therapy level 3, but that will lead on to level 4 or 5, and hopefully 6 with my teacher's support.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Shout out West Thames College.
Shout out. Well, let's dive in. All right. Can you share a bit about your background and your childhood?
My background, how do I put this now?
It's a deep story, guys.
No, my background is very eventful.
Yep.
Let's put it that way. But I persevere, as I would say, my Jamaican side would say, cut and go true. Just keep it up. So I'm from Dulwich, nice kind of area. You know, had Maggie Thatcher around the corner,
Okay.
and everything. Life was great. You know, did ballet, tap dancing, drama, acting. Gosh, I don't know what else I didn't do. Swimming, diving. Yeah, I was actually just busy as a kid. Travelled 3 times a year.
Nice.
I'd been, I think, halfway around the world almost. Like by the time I was 8, I was even 10.
So were your family quite well off?
wouldn't say we were well off. It's really difficult because I'd say when the family were, I wasn't around. So when I was born, well, I was in Dulwich. Like that was my life. My family, siblings were previously, I think, in Balham, and then I was born. Mum and dad got the house. Grandparents moved to the area. My life is cushy. Like I must say, like I actually I'm in awe of my younger self. Like I wish I could do that.
So you spoken about your London life, but I know that you were born in Jamaica.
No, I wasn't born in Jamaica. I went to live in Jamaica. My family, obviously background's Jamaican. Dad's Jamaican.
Yeah.
Mum's British Jamaican. But as I say, we travelled frequently, many times to Jamaica, Canada, America, all different states. I actually stayed in Canada for a little bit when I was like a baby, which felt like forever for me because you're only like 4.
You remember it?
I remember it because I remember I was there and I thought this was my life. And like, you know, like it was cool. It was somewhere different, and obviously speaking to your family on the phone and stuff. And then they came and got me because I had my 5th birthday in Canada, so I was there prior.
Okay.
For that time.
You remember that?
I remember Disneyland. I was 4 and I remember Disneyland Fair. I'm sorry, it was the first time I got.
Your memory is A1.
Someone said to me yesterday, "Is like, how do you remember?" I said, "Babe, I remember. I remember everything." But I can't remember what I did last week.
Good memories.
Yeah, but yeah, you remember good memories. Disneyland was definitely one of those. Like being 4, Disneyland, Florida. I saw Winnie the Pooh, and I still remember the gasp. I don't think I'd ever gasped before, and the shock. Like my cartoon was in front of me with something, I'll never forget.
So tell me about, because I know we've got so much to get through in an hour,
yes,
so I want to make sure we get through. So tell me a little bit about your relationship with your family.
Family, relationship,
everything. In the early days especially.
To me, everything was fine, but then something took a turn
Yeah.
I had certain family members. I don't even know. I just
Oh,
had
by the
mainly
way,
the females.
I'm gonna say one thing. We can't swear.
I'm not
Try
gonna
not
swear.
to.
I was family members,
Yeah,
female.
yeah,
No, I don't need to swear.
Alright, cool.
I don't need to swear. I don't
Yeah,
need
you
to. I never use that type of terminology to express
Okay,
myself.
let's go.
But I have female members of my family that weren't happy with, I suppose, my lifestyle, how I was. I don't know. I was just being me. Do you know what I mean? I was the first child. Just to go back a bit, my parents divorced, so things just took a turn for the worse, I suppose, in their circumstances. But
are you close to your immediate?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore. They've never been close actually. My family, long story short, my family just decided to reject me, and I was shipped off to Jamaica when I was 10, and I was there for 3.5 years, and that was a big moment in my life.
So, just because obviously you're going to say a lot of things, so I'm just going to interject a couple
That's
of times.
fine.
So, why do you feel like your family rejected you?
The rejection came after, but obviously I was 10. My mum just said we're going on holiday for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll be alright in school. I always catch up. And then we just never came back. Like, we was in Jamaica for like a whole year.
And how did you find
Just
that?
pop sporting. It was different. So suppose at the back of my mind, I always knew I'm going home one day, but this is a type of experience. And I think by that young age, I was very open-minded. I understood a lot. You know, I've been in New York, I've been in LA, I've been in Atlanta, I've been in Miami as well. Like, I've been to different states and Canada, Caribbean, Antigua, Dominica, Barbados. Like, we've been places. So
you sound like a rapper.
I don't know. I'm not gonna
tour.
lie. There's a picture of me when I feel like I'm looking TV-ish. I'm just like, yeah. Like plane was like nothing. I used to like go sit with the pilots and stuff. Like it was cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, like but then I also was grounded at the same point. I wasn't like a bossy show off person because we was flying. You know, I never got stuff for Christmas and we were like, my mum made me well know like, you know, sacrifice and things like that. I come from a God-fearing family. Granddad was a pastor. So I was very, very humble. No, I was just grounded. I knew that I was in touch. I was having this opportunity because of their journey.
So,
you know, my grandparents' journey here.
So your granddad is a pastor.
Was a pastor, deacon pastor.
What is he not now? And
passed away.
2 questions. Oh, sorry. Apologies to hear that. So, what's your relationship like with your granddad, and what's your thoughts on religion?
Granddad was the best. I'm not gonna lie, it was good. I had my granddad who was obviously a straight up church man, but my dad was a drunkard, not in that way, but he liked to drink. My dad was, I'm just like my dad, everything you're not supposed to do or be. Nah, he was a beer man, I can't tell you.
Is it?
My dad was a big man when he
Red
had
shirt?
me. Nah man, my dad, I never seen my dad do that yet. My dad think he's tenants. My dad was like, so my dad was quarter caste and we got ginger in my family. So my dad was, they used to call him British. He said when he was little, kind enough to dress up and wear a shirt in Jamaica. So he came here when he was 22. I don't know, some years down the line, mum happened, sister happened, brother happened, and then I happened. But yeah, that was different. But my granddad was actually like a foundation, bedrock foundation for me. He installed a lot in me. I think I had like 45 years of knowledge installed in me by the time of 7. Like it was a lot. Like, I was around him a lot. I remember him doing something extraordinary, which is literally bought a bar. Like I don't know what was going on, but he bought all this alcohol and he literally said to me things like, "You see this? You go down, come see it," and you go dead left it. So don't run it down. Do you understand? Don't party, drink, not going. It's here before, when I was here, after me and after you.
Amazing.
So don't, see certain things. Basically, I just taught me not to be licky and beggy. To sum it up in a Jamaican phrase, like he showed that.
Man.
So
I was a little licky last night. Happens to the best of us.
Like but you just in terms of like red eye and big people claws and
yeah.
Like it was very like
Don't be a beggy person.
No, it was just some people are who they are, innit? But he just showed me certain things, and obviously him and my nan were solid for me growing up. They were like,
is your nan still alive?
No, nan's passed as well. Nan lived a good life. She only died a few years ago. I don't think it's even 5. Yeah, 2018, the end. So just a week before Christmas actually. So I don't know with nan, but yeah, they lived good lives, man. When they went, it wasn't, especially my nan. It was like, you know what, she lived a good life.
I'm glad to hear that. So we've got 6 minutes to the ad break, and I want to get into something that's a little bit deep. So you obviously told me about the relationship fractures with your family?
What doesn't happen?
So
Every
if
black
you could-
family has fractures.
Hey, whoa. I come from 2 black parents, no family fractures. I'm just gonna say, not every
No,
single-
not everyone, I know, I suppose, but where I come from.
But I hear that.
What is with me? I'm from Dulwich. I grew up in a sheltered, I was completely different to my siblings.
Yep.
It was me going, my mum drawing me out, taking me to Brixton and stuff that made me a little hood or a little streetwise. But I was I did ballet for crying out loud and went brownies and Girl Guides. I was like.
So you sound like but this is the thing. You sound like you've had this amazing
I was never
childhood.
bad, but things switched and we moved up the road.
So tell me about
the area I live in now.
So tell me about the switch.
Well, as I say, that happened when I was 10, went to JA. I was out there for 3.5 years, and the relationship between my mum really severed, deteriorated, whatever you want to put it. It was literally, what is going on? Like, she's just got bare ammo for me. I don't know
Talk to us.
But she told me one
Talk
day,
to
I
us, talk
asked
to the
her,
screen as
sorry,
well.
hello. I asked her at one point, like, why is it everything I asked you is no or something? And she just turned and said to me, it was a very, sorry, I'm going to explain why I'm laughing, but she and just said, I hate you, you look like your father, and I hate you.
Wow.
So that's when I say maybe fractures. I'm sure there's a lot of girls out here, or even sons, that deal with resentment from their parents who broke them or who's broken emotionally by the same parent that you favour. Which is nothing you have control over.
And and you have brothers and sisters.
I have older brothers and I have an older sister for my mum and dad.
And you were the only one that got that treatment.
Only one. Even you know what? Even my cousin, shout out the one, you know, like literally said to me, I don't know why they did what they did to you, Kai. You weren't even bad. And just to get that little reassurance, she's like, I swear, I was never even. Like I never really stepped out of line. I was.
And how long did that come after the abuse and whatnot?
Then after that, the way she was with me, the coldness and the
Sorry. So when did you get that acknowledgement?
When I was about 11 in J. I was going to school. I'm sure I was coming from school. I think I went Holy Childhood. Haidar. One of them. It was Holy Childhood because we was living together.
So talk to me about the suffering that you went through.
I wouldn't even call it suffering. I think it was just acknowledging that there were other ways of life, and I appreciated it more. Like I was more grateful for what I had endured in my short life. But I was living in Waterhouse with certain family members. My cousin, Dr. Henry Morgan, runs a church in Trenchtown, so we spent a lot of time around there with less fortunate people in the community. The good thing for me is I got to see where I actually stem from. You know, I went to my granddad's hometown in country. I went to my granny's in St. Elizabeth. You know, that was the awakeness. So it wasn't. It was. I think JA just made me more confident, made me more aware, made me independent because I was left out there on my own for 1.5 years.
But what I'm trying to figure out. So you're saying this is all positive.
It wasn't the worst thing. It was the worst thing, but it was also the best thing at the same time.
But when we spoke, obviously before the episode, you said that obviously you've gone through quite a lot of trauma.
See, yes, that's coming back now. So I've come back to England and mum is still like, not entertaining me.
Yeah.
And then I ended up in care. And I'll always remember this night because I bawled my eyes out. I was a youth and I was like, please mum, don't put me in the system. Like, you want to go yard and live your life, I'll stay at home. I was good. I wouldn't have even been a problem. More time chilling with my granny going to church on Sunday. I was a little Sunday Christian still. I did like church. But yeah, it never went that way, and I ended up in care, living in a children's home. But in the back of my mind, I was like, I already kind of, not knew. My granddad was like, what do you need to get your own place through the Argos, maybe cut out with a little sofa and that, you know. So I knew, this is what you got to do now. You're going to be an adult before your time. Adults. Yeah, you got to go. And that was my mindset at like, 13, 14. I'm going to have to get the iron, all these little things. I bought an iron for my 16th birthday. Because I knew I was going, I bought my iron and I was in my children's home. And we got semi-independence money. And I was like, I'm going to buy an iron. And they were like, what? I said, because I'm always going to need that. Like, I know I'm going to need that. If I don't need nothing else, your shirt must iron before you leave your house. Like, it don't even matter if you don't have bed. If you don't even have bed, you must have iron. Of course. Like, can't leave out the starch, you get me? So yeah, I just had a certain mindset. But I was also obviously knew this wouldn't be happening to me in JA. Like, I'm getting a little flat. I just knew I didn't want to be in the system, but I knew what the system was about. So but it was hard, the transition.
Do you feel like that came around because your family rejected you? Well, your
Well,
mother,
yeah,
your
not
mother,
even
your
my
mum.
mum. Like I could have stayed at my granny's. Even I had a friend, family friend, who knows my family very well. He had an occupation in an establishment where I was not too long ago. I'll touch on that a bit later.
Okay.
But he was like, I don't understand why you went into care, because like I could have stayed with my granny. The room was there. My aunt was there. She would take me. They didn't want to do that.
So
My other aunt,
who made the final call then? Your mum?
must have been my mum. I think as the females in my family just decided that was it. I don't know why, as I always say, it happened.
We have got so much to dive into, and we will do that when we are next back after the break. To delve into quite a deep topic, so we're talking about your family, and let's talk about some of the downsides of what happened when you were growing up in the UK.
What do you mean downsides?
Well, we were just discussing the break.
You mean later on in my life, not while I was young?
Later on in your life.
So I was 12, 13, I'm in care.
Let's skip to later on.
Go through the care system.
Yeah.
End up teething, start shoplift. I suppose for me it was a way
So
to
how do
relieve
so
stress.
you're glossing over that. So how did all of that transpire?
You see, before my mum put me in care, she was neglecting me, which I never saw at the time, never realised until I was older.
Mm-hmm.
And she started neglecting me in a way she wasn't providing for me, like clothing wise, and she wasn't giving me a lot of money, and she wasn't showing me anything. My mum didn't even cook food in the house, argue with me to turn on the water and all them hot water and them things. It was just it was just not what I was accustomed to.
Do you feel like your mum did the best she could in her environment or not?
You know what, my mum passed not long ago, and I literally,
Sorry to
as
hear.
I say to everyone, my mum put me through a lot of things, but I never wished death on her. And I love my mum. I rate my mum. I told her on her deathbed that you're the trendsetter at the end of the day. You're my trailblazer. Like, she showed me the star life. Get me? She showed me things. Like, and a lot of I've got friends, people that I know now that never had that exposure when they were my age. So I'm always grateful to her. And now I'm an adult, as a female. You've grown up. You've been in relationships. You've been hurt. I understand what she went through that led her to being that way.
But I find that very crazy.
But that's
for
now
you
as an
to
adult,
say.
I've understood that.
But talk to us about the I don't know how you want to describe it, but the
What she allowed
the
to happen
toxic
to me.
relation. Yeah.
After this toxicity and my family, like as I say, neglecting me, there was this. Just this random man that was always around, and I knew of the guy.
Was he dating your?
No, I don't know. He was just his granddad and my grandparents were friends.
Yeah.
We used to go to his house.
Yeah.
And his granddad would trim my brother. So I never felt I never felt like I was unsafe around this person. You know, I thought, and that's another thing about growing up in the church. I was kind of like had clouds. My head was in the clouds. Because you think that's everyone is bridging and sister. And it was always love. I always saw my parents, grandparents, everyone showing love. So I didn't think I'd be in any danger around this person.
So what happened?
He took advantage of me, I suppose. Now I look at it. I was really young. I didn't even know what he was doing. But it happened. I ended up having...
At what age?
I must have been 13.
Wow.
But closer to the 14 side. Or maybe I was 14. I don't even know. Yeah, I must have been 14. Because I was in my children's home by then. And then, he troubled me. And then I think because I was so isolated, the only people I really had in my life that was actually communicating with me, and I mean speaking, was my brother, one of my brothers, and this man prominently, and my sister so. But then we've always had this kind of rivalry.
So what was the relationship with the abuser? Was he like he
He
trying
just
to act
dashed
nice?
himself on me, but he was speaking to me. He was the kind of only person paying attention, asking me how I was. I heard that you left your house, and I'm just like explaining the family dynamics, which now I'm looking back must have just been going through one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
For what he had in mind. But whatever he did to me, he was allowed to do, because fast forward, I'm 17, I get a call from my grandma. She tells me to come round, and his daughter's opening the door. And I see my granny holding, now I know this is my second child, I know I have a first child, and I'm like, what is going on? No one's speaking to me. Now I went through a phase in my life where no one in my family, and to this day a lot of my family members don't communicate with me. And I've never done anyone nothing. I don't know why no one don't speak to me. It's a taboo, but obviously now I know because of what's happened.
So what happened?
I was allowed to be abused, sexually abused as well. And then it was a thing of, oh, you're trying to teeth people's man and all this foolishness. But fast forward that, my grandma's holding my son, and I just faint. I'm a big girl. I've always been thick. But I to this day, I literally just dropped. I was shocked. The shock that my grandma, someone, you know, you hear my granddad preaching about the deceived can't be the deceiver, and you know, they're holier than thou, they're in the church, mother, dada, you know, people didn't call them that, it was just dads and mother.
You know what, I'm going to make a point,
that to happen.
And I feel like one thing in the black community that we've got to do better is the level that we will go to sometimes to avoid shame is ridiculous. Like, abuse can happen, and instead of letting that person go to prison or whatever, because there's too much shame, there's sometimes things we will let slide, and that is something that is
what I think
ridiculous.
is for me is when, as going through my years, especially my younger teens, 20s, is to tell people that I've been abused, tell people that I have a child. No one don't want to hear that. And no one don't want to hear it, or some people don't understand it, which I understand. But it was just something like, oh well, and it was like, I was just like, this is heartless. So I'm just grateful that I've always had like half a bag of cents at least, if not full 100. I had some. But it's been difficult, especially with the fam. For me, I feel my family, a lot of the members, every day you're just lying to me every day you look in my face. So, you know what I had to endure and go through, because at the end of that, I was then sectioned by my mum. So at the age of 17, I got sectioned. So I've been through all of this, gone in care.
That's what I'm saying.
Teething, on road, arrested.
So you've been through the care system, and then you got sectioned.
Yeah, my mum sectioned me. My mum, because I was still 17 years old. And
because of the abuse?
I don't know what it was for. I think it was to shut me up. I don't know what, but this woman knew nothing. Now that I'm a big woman, I realised that nothing was just happened, was just misfortune, or just, you know, like, I'm sure I saw when I was in labour my mum receiving money from my baby father. Like, so this shit was deep. It was almost as if my dad weren't giving her the money for me, so she was getting that money anyway, anyhow. She just really just didn't care about me. And I think psychologically I know why, but I won't go into that. But yeah, I went into section. Now, that was the worst part, I think, of my life, because I missed a big chop. From 17 to 21, I was in and out of these mental health hospitals. I was 3/4 insane, because I was still busting scams in there. I was still doing my catalog scams. I was still ordering stereo and crepes and all sorts of things in the hospital on the phone, the payphone days, saying, yeah, I'm in the Freeman's there and send that to people. So I still had.
So what you're trying to say is basically when you were in. When you're in the mental health system, you're still doing wickedness, basically.
I was still doing badness because I was on earns. I was hungry. I had shit to do. Like, I'm on my own out here. I can't
live radio,
nobody.
can't swear.
I'm so sorry. I said it. But
don't worry.
I said the least.
It's a little.
But yeah, I had to. That was just a ragamuffin coming out of me right there.
Sorry, no, yeah, continue. You were cooking.
But yeah, I had to do stuff. You know, and I had my little. I don't know how I knew about this catalogue scam business, but that was what, you know, got my big 50. Like, basically that carried me. And then when I was 19, I got my flat. Literally a month before my 19th. So I was 18, just before I turned 19, I got my flat. And I knew I was getting it like 6 weeks before. And
so can I ask you a question? Right. So just to, I don't want to delve too deep into the abuse, but like, one, how long did it happen? And two, have you, one, seen anybody about what you went through? And two, have you addressed the guy since?
No, the guy's disappeared into thin air. But what it is you have to remember that I don't even business with this guy, because it's the family at the end of the day and foremost. You allowed that to happen. I don't know what female sits down and watch a female get taken advantage by someone.
Ridiculous.
You know what I mean? And don't say nothing. And no one ain't done you nothing. But I think I suffer with, or at the time probably still do, with that some syndrome they call it, when you in love, or you're in love with your abuser or something.
That's Stockholm syndrome.
That's what it's called, because even though regardless of what he was doing at the time, it was cool. It weren't all. I'm not gonna say alright. I'll say 30%. I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying this. You know, I'm getting my little money. He's coming to pick me up at school in the Benz. Like, I'm showing off in front of my friends. Because I had a man. I didn't have no youth. I didn't have a boyfriend. I had a man, and he was completely different to how the man them were on the ends. And another reason why I don't even chat to these boys, because they're boys in my eyes.
Yeah, but like,
so even though but you have to. For me, I had nobody, and this person was there.
But reflecting on that now, years on from it, do you not see that was abuse?
It was,
Or
now
do
you
you
look back
still-
and I'm like, yeah, I think I realised that when I had probation, because I've been arrested a lot and I get into trouble, but I was at probation doing this thing and we went through a lifeline thing, and you know what happened, and then I just broke down in the place crying. I was like, oh my god, like I was abused. And this didn't happen until my big 20s. I didn't, to be honest, I couldn't explain what happened or understand it because nobody spoke to me.
Yeah.
You have to remember, I went through this on my own. I gave birth drugged under the influence of God knows what this man pushed in my mouth. So my family were very involved in what was going in that happened to me.
We're skipping over.
I'm saying.
So you've got 3 kids.
Now I do, yes.
You have 3 kids.
3
And
boys.
what? So your abuser is
Has the first 2 sons. My eldest is 24, and I think my youngest is probably 22. Yeah, and I don't even know their names. I don't even know the day they were born because I was the God knows. I have an inkling, I suppose I do, but I wouldn't know the exact. So that I had to go through that, and that hurt, and like, but I still didn't break. I was still trying to.
So sorry. Just to peel things back a little bit, because this is mad.
It's a shocking.
So
thing.
you've had 2 kids to the abuser.
Yeah, by the time I was 17, I had
And
2
what
kids.
did he step up?
Well, he stepped up because he's there with him. But back them days, tax credit was new and fresh, and so basically, even what you've got these youths and you're benefiting from them financially because they're with you. They're not with me. I couldn't even tell you what names are on their birth certificate if my name's even on there. That's how deep it is. So this is something that was very, very, very. This wasn't just this just happened. Like to this day, I don't hear about my kids. No one don't talk about them. They act like they don't exist. Like I'm crazy. But in a report that was done recently on me because of where I was, it was mentioned that the family did admit that yes, something did happen when she was young. So you have to remember, my children are adults now. So the big ones who I don't know, I think they must be in America. And if they're here in England, then his dad's doing a really good job.
So where's the dad? Is he in America?
No, I'm not business with the papa. I don't know where the papa is.
Let's move on from that.
Anyway, because I don't know what you're going to tell them children when they ask you about their mum.
So let's go on to the next, unfortunately, another unfortunate event. You were stabbed from your brother's soon-to-be wife.
Well, she probably
Talk to me
will
about
be
that.
one day. And you know what it is, despite everything, I'll always have like love. There's always going to be love, but all is fair in love and war in it at the end of the day. And
No.
No,
I disagree
because
with
where it
that.
is, you don't understand. Even though what happened, but for 20 years, that was 20 years probably in the making. I don't know, but I've been around this, you know, my brother and his couple and the family, and if it wasn't really for them, I'd really have been completely isolated, secluded, reclusive.
Yeah, but can I just say
So,
this?
but I feel
like you're normalizing something.
I'm not normalising nothing, but I'm just saying I still have love for the female who done it to me.
But that's
Do you understand? I don't need to be filled. Your hate caused you to cause that action on me. I don't have that. I'm not a hateful person.
But that's also irrelevant because I haven't said how do you feel about the female. I just talked about the stabbing situation.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying because it's a touchy subject. It started a spiral of all sorts of things, good things and bad things, I suppose. But it ruined something. Like this person is closer to me than my sister, than my own sister was. I was around this person a lot. This person introduced me to people, things. There was a lot there.
So how did it happen?
I don't know because, as I say, I don't take care of man. But I take care of man. So I don't know why you're bad-minding me so hard. I don't know if it's because, and this is someone who knows, who's seen with their own 2 eyes what's happened to me day in, day out. I don't know if they're waiting for me to go mad or take my own life. I don't know what it is, but I've always just stood on my solid, you know.
But how did it happen?
I just went to the property one day. I was looking for my charger.
Yeah.
Something so minuscule, and I just had someone approach me and go, "What do you think you're doing?"
Yeah.
And I turned around and I was like, "Move." I'm not gonna rely. Things were fractured and strained, but I put that responsibility on my brother. You allow your baby mother to disrespect me because you disrespect me. Your mum disrespects me. And your sister disrespects me. So there's a level. The tolerance of this is like I'm just not important. Fine. So, but then there was a bit of like back and forth words, but then I saw her go over and reach for something. I saw something shiny from the corner of my eye, but never would I think in a million years that this person's going to inflict something like that on me ever. I was in shock for 2 weeks before I even reported it to the police. I couldn't believe what just happened.
Oh, so was it a bad stab wound or just?
It wasn't. It looked worse when it happened, but I didn't even realise of it because it was one of my customers who told me because I had a backache, and I have a large lower half. and I couldn't see my back. I could just feel something while I was driving. And then she looked at me and went, you know, you've been stabbed. And I was like, what? And she
The
took the
person
picture.
that stabbed you?
No, my customer.
Oh.
Because after the fight, I just went to go make some money because that's what I do. Yeah, like I'm hustling shit from the boot of my car, like, and you're hating on me. Like, you can help me, join me, but you don't want to do that. So that's your business. So, but my customer told me, took the picture. When I saw it, I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. Like, so what I saw shiny, it wasn't like just the sun glare on my eye or something. That was you picking up the weapon.
So how long did it take you to recover? Were you?
As I said, I was in shock for 2 weeks. I can't even remember what I went through, but that's before I went to report it to the police. And when I did report it to them, I just got told, oh, I just got words of wisdom, as they put it. And
so what's your relationship with her now?
Don't chat to her.
Of course.
She's had a very long time to even, you could have wrote me a letter or something. Yeah, I get the little reach out thing when you're trying to, you know, say, we'll do this and help, but that whatever is flowing is flowing.
Did you report it to the police?
I did report it to the police, and
did she get anything?
Nothing. It's almost as if I was entitled.
Do you think that's because you are? Do you think that's because
I have mental health?
Do you think it's
Or labelled as mental
I was
health.
about to say, do you think your mental health and your race played into that, or do you think
The Lord knows, because do you know what? The Lord knows, because it's not just my race, the mental health, social services, the 101 probation officers that I've had, they asked me the same thing, like yourself, what's happened, what's this, and I said, it's written down, I'm not even talking about it no more. I've been coming here since I was 13, I'm like 20 something.
I mean,
I'm not repeating myself.
Just to say from my perspective.
No,
it's
I
a
mean,
podcast.
no, I mean, in the system, the organisation,
I hear that.
They did try,
it's the same,
but it's just the same thing, nothing that happened. And
same process,
I did get encouraged to
training.
go to the police. Would anybody even sit beside me? Went to the police, they just said there's nothing they can do. This is before, I think, the first kind of warning sign when I started the fire in 2016.
I was about to say, let's get onto that. So how did you end up in prison for 5 years?
Yes, I got sentenced to 5 long years.
Tell us.
And I got a smile, but it's not a proud thing, it's, I think...
No, let's get to it.
It's like you get through it and it's like, it wasn't even that bad, but like, so I set some fires in, I think, 2016, I was on the radar. And I think, because from 2015 when I got stabbed, I stopped talking to anybody that did. Anybody that had anything to do with my siblings, either of them, was just no. And I just started focusing on myself and just practicing self-love, really.
Nice.
Well-being and all them sorts of things. And it was a nice time. It was 3 years of peace. Do you know what I mean? I got to know myself. And then I fell pregnant. I say this. But
to someone that wasn't the abused.
No. See, that's never really stopped me, because I think for me, I have a very strong mindset. Like, I differentiate, I know the difference. And I can't make someone's actions or what you've done tarnish me or in the way of getting any form of happiness or whatever in my life, I suppose. Like, I think I'm quite rational, but then I suppose when certain things happen, I react emotionally, and that's probably where they say, oh, I've got this personality disorder, malarkey. Like, whatever they want. That's what I was. I'm different. I'm ADHD now. Before I was bipolar. So comes out every 5-6 years. I just take anything new, just stick it on. Okay. So that was that. I really just don't know how.
So talk to me about how you even got into.
I had a child, and obviously because of my past life, even though at this point I hadn't been in hospital for like 7 years, hadn't been arrested for about 5 years, I was running my own business, selling my clothing, fashion envy on like eBay and still through family and friends. And then I was living what I call my whole life, which is happiness over everything, by the way. But I got pregnant. I didn't actually find out until I was 4.5 months, and I was working for M&S. And that social were on my case come February, and it was just all went downhill because I hadn't spoken to anyone in my family. I didn't know how I was going to tell anyone, so I let the cat out to my mum first.
Is it someone that you were dating or?
Someone I was seeing, yeah, but it weren't like nothing serious. This is, I suppose, the beginning of Instagram links. I met my. No, was the Facebook thing. It was like,
hot girl summer.
You know what? I was looking too good at the time. I know where I got myself into a problem. Right. But yeah, this is someone who lived up like north, so it's completely opposite ends to where I was in southeast. And then, but by the time I found out I was pregnant, I'd done changed phone, moved, locked off, cut off people, and trying to get back in touch with him. His page is gone, and I'm like, oh my god. Anyway, we move on. But it was the way how social came down on me. They were so cutthroat with me, it was unreal. And I didn't have any support from my family. No one really. It's the first time in my life I felt really isolated, like really completely alone, because even though I had lots of friends, associates and stuff, there was no one I could really turn to, or you didn't want to burden people. You don't know, because I've always had my own back. So anyway, socially involved. I'm with my son. I spent a lot of time with him, and then you got to about 7 months and we were separated, like kind of on a permanent, like this is moving forward. So I think the words that scare you the most when you're in those situations is the word adoption. And then number 2, I consistently ask social to explain the process to me, because I don't have not a mentor. I don't have the person, advocate, someone, like listening for me and stuff like that. And they just were refusing to explain anything to me in the process. So I just did a lot. And then in the end, worst comes to it, I just exploded. I can't remember what the situation was. I think it was my son's birthday and I set the first fire to my sister's property. But that's because she did something, and she knows what she did. She stole my son's clothes. My son wasn't even in the world and he always tried to rob him. Now that's so, for me it was just lava ground.
Yeah, but
that. Don't disrespect me all you want, but this is my child, my innocent child who hasn't done anything to anybody.
So let's get into
that was a level of disrespect that I just weren't.
So let's get into the realness of that situation. So was there anybody inside when you set fire to the house?
No. She was too busy taking a picture of my son on his first birthday, and I don't know what you're doing there. You took the clothes off and used back before he was even born.
And how did you? This is so far in the second road to me.
Sorry.
So how did you even set fire to the guy?
I drove to her yard. I knew where they were because I had contact that morning with my son, and it was some big drama, big mix up, big foolishness that happened. No reason. Anyway, I knew where they were. I saw the pictures. I just knew that they were gonna be there, innit? I knew where he was. So I went. And I don't know if she even got the text message that I sent her saying, stay in your house. Wow, that was like, no.
Oh, so you wanted to get caught in the fire?
No, I just went there and I was mad. Yeah, I was just mad anyway, because you mash up me and my youth's first birthday. It was just the family being the family. I'm not going to delve into it, but I was just vexed. I went there, and then a couple of weeks later, it was my birthday. I think that same day or before, I set fire to my nan's grave, because I feel like she was partly responsible, or a big part to play in me being abused. Do you understand? And the way I was treated, and the way, even like in the house, there wasn't even a picture of me in the house. I had to so I was really hurt, because it was went through funerals, couple funerals in the family and a wedding, and I was in that situation, and nobody, being rejected by all your cousins' family, etc. It was a lot.
So can I ask you?
I don't know why my son had to end up in the system. Nobody's been in the system.
I know we're getting into a lot of deep stuff. So what is? Why fire?
Because, to be honest, I have a physical disability. A lot of people don't know. You can't see it. So I have Poland syndrome, and I was born with a muscle on the right side of my chest.
Okay.
So I have nothing there. There's nothing. So I can't even throw a right punch if I really wanted to, because I don't have that strength. Basically, I'm not weak, but it's not. I can easily get hurt. So I wouldn't attack nobody. I'm not going to attack you.
Yeah.
And I think. Where I'm not even a violent person anyway, the fire was just that. I don't know. That was just my way of dealing with things.
It's something that you felt that you could.
To be honest, that's probably just what I felt to breathe. With the anger that was inside of me. You have to think this fire was 20 years in the making. It wasn't just a thing. It was that whole anger, all of the things that I've been through in how many years, just boom. So, and then I set fire to my mum's. I just went a bit mad.
Well, we've got 4 minutes left, but I'll probably bring you on to the start of the next quarter anyway. However, what I want to know is, when you went to prison, what life lessons did you learn, and what really began your drive to want to get into the fashion industry?
Prison was definitely an eye-opener for me. It was the wake-up call that I needed, because I've been living a very selfish life. I think being in prison and not having access to my son, but it also helped me grow as an individual, because I realised I went in there, a spark brat, Cindy, but I realised that I'm a mother, and my mindset had to change, because I would have wanted a lot of things, but I always know this one thing my granddad taught me in life, that there is wants and then there's needs. And you need to learn to differentiate between those two, because you will want a lot of things in life, but then you also need. So I wanted my son to be in the system so I could still have access to him on a regular basis, but that's not the best thing for him, and what he needed was you know, to be in a structure, and you know where he is now, you know, he's with mum, his parents, and I'm actually really at peace with that situation. Like, there was counselling and things in the prison, which I am grateful for, that nice Asian lady, and we went through the steps and things, and I think while I was in there having my contact with him, it helped as well, because he still saw me and I still saw him, and we had some form of relationship. Like, he knows who I am, you know, I'm one of him.
Well, how did you find prison?
Prison is worse. You're more traumatized with the thought of going than being there, is what I always say. Like, I got there, what's going on? To me, it was like boarding school in a little way, you know, because I was in boarding school in Jamaica. So it was like that. And then it was, you know, I think when you're on remand, you have a different mindset because you don't know what's going on.
And I know you got a 5-year prison
sentence. I got sentenced.
Or did you do all 5 years?
Majority, yeah. I literally, I think I got off, 3-4 months early, which, what is that? And even though I'm out, I'm still in prison. I have a...
You're institutional.
I'm still in the where I am. I still have to be in at a certain time. And
what?
Yeah, I've got 8 o'clock curfew, man.
but that is that.
So about 8 p.m.
Is that because you've done things in prison?
I didn't do nothing in prison. Listen, I was good as gold in there. Listen, I wasn't a problem in there.
How do you still? I thought that's what you get. Let's say if you leave early.
No, I think it's just because my crime is violence, and I had an EDS sentence, extended the term, and I don't even know. But so I could serve up to, but I've never had a nice OMU either. Never had a nice OMU. She never, I don't know, you know, the people who bring their workload and this and that, but she just didn't come correct with me. Like, she just never, and I think it even showed up in my parole. You were still trying to find issues with me and my behaviours bubbling, and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, people harass me. Like, I'm just me. I just did my thing in there. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think, as I say, the process I went through, losing my son, and then I lost my mum after that. 2022 was that year, because my son got adopted in the October, and then my mum passed away like literally 3 weeks after that. And I remember breaking down at Christmas, and one of the girls just hugging me, and she's like, "Are you alright?" And I just said, "No." Like, no. Like, what happened?
It's okay not to be okay.
No, it is okay, but I had to just say, yeah, like, no, I'm not, because it's just crazy, because I have to deal with losing my son is like a bereavement.
So, thank you so much for that, because you're sharing some real stuff. However, we'll come back after the break. Thanks so much. We've been having a great chat in the break. Honestly, this story is continuing. I should have done the whole 2-hour podcast with Cindy. I'm not gonna lie. My bad, guys. I'm maybe gonna have to bring her back on. But there's so much to cover. But one thing I did want to get to is, you said that you don't feel that women have the same opportunities as men, which I highly disagree with. So what is your why do you think that? And 2, you might know something that I don't know, because obviously you know about the prison system, so talk to me.
The same opportunities, and all that does depend in what kind of dynamic you mean. But I suppose for me, I feel like maybe just certain industries or the environments that you're around and the people that control and do certain things, it's very male dominated.
Where?
Just now, obviously now we're in the 2000s and it's 2020s now. Women are more like doing things like in certain sectors and things that were more male orientated, like train drivers. You get, you know, even like, just little things. Obviously, there's always been the odd, but I was the first upscale in my shop in M&S. So this, I don't know.
Let me tell you this though. So why I believe your opinion is very wrong is because that affirmative action and DEI means that women are actually getting pushed into male-dominated industries. So a woman might not be as good as a man for a job, but because they want to get more females in the door because it's a male-dominated industry, they're getting pushed to that. And also, women, and this is not against women, this is actually for women. Women have absolutely crushed men in terms of education, in terms of the amount they earn. Women actually now out-earn men in their 20s. And I agree with you. Probably 20 years ago, you're probably right. Like, women didn't have the same opportunities, but now they have even more opportunities than men.
I don't know. Whilst I was inside, I used to be very frequent on the gov.uk, whatever website, and I think I had to do a piece on something about the gender pay gap. So I don't understand why we still have that. If, you know,
So
there's
there's
still that gap.
Okay,
and then,
so the last 2 years, right, I've been breaking down why that is a complete lie. And guess what they did? They did a controlled gender pay gap. So that they actually matched women and men on the same opportunities, the same job title, and the same basically the same job. And guess how much a gender pay gap is? 1 cent. So there is no gender pay gap. It's absolute BS. And I knew that. I knew that. Even in the UK, in the US, they've done it in Australia, they've done it in Ireland. There is no gender pay gap. It's complete BS. The only reason why there's a gender pay gap is because men choose to work harder jobs.
Or can, because women.
No, women
some
can.
women, not all, have children, families, etc.
There you go. So there's things like maternity leave, but you can't just say there's a gender pay gap because and then not include those type of things.
The reports are still there, they're still written.
Hey, well, the control gap shows us 1 cent difference. So if we want to argue over 1 cent, we can argue over 1 cent.
1 cent, give me my money. That's what give me my money. I want it.
Well, Cindy, you've been amazing. And we're going to definitely have to bring you back on because I thought that was a very rushed interview.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it. Obviously, if you want to stay around, please do. I'll buy you a McDonald's if you're hungry. However, we are going to get Mr. Grant Savage on the podcast. But you smashed it. I'm proud of you. Well done.
Thank you.
Killed it.
Bye everyone.
Hello, Grant. If you can give us your name.
Got sound effects coming on today.
Yeah. Can we turn it off?
I'm so sorry. My Fat Man Scoop tribute.
Hey, big up Fat Man Scoop. If we can get your name, your age, your job occupation, and a fun fact that the audience may not know, and if you can just scoot in, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Grant Savage. I am 32, and I am a community development health manager, and I'm also a boxing coach based in Luton.
Amazing. Well, talk to me about your work that you do with Active Luton as a community engagement officer. What got you into that line of work?
It kind of developed over the years. So after university, I ended up doing a lot of local community radio work actually, and through that I learned on connected with organisations, and I ended up working full time within community development, community work. And as the pandemic hit, I pivoted a little bit towards health because obviously that was the priority at the time. And then that's where I've grown. It's just naturally grown and developed, and now I'm doing management work within Active Luton.
Amazing. And what kind of impact have you seen that your work has done on the community?
The impact I've seen is people and the individuals. You know, everyone's an individual. You coming in? Yeah. I want to be close to the mic, you see, because I've got like a soft tone. Yes. So everyone's an individual, and it's seeing everyone's individual journeys and how I've helped people mentally and physically as well. That's what I've noticed the impact.
Yeah, man, because obviously you're a big part of Talk Club.
Yeah.
So hence why I'm repping the Talk Club.
Oh, where's my top?
I know. I'll be
gifted.
I'm actually going to get you a top. I am because you've been. No, I've already spoken to the guys about it. Basically, when I started getting into the coaching business, Step Up Coaching. Men, if you need a helping hand, a little push in the right direction, please do reach out. I wanted to get involved and do some charity work, like do something that was free, do something for the community. I got involved with Talk Club, which is an amazing charity. It's all about men's mental health, working on men's mental fitness as opposed to physical fitness, and talk groups. And there was no talk group in Luton. I decided to set up a talk group in Luton. I started off at a football club, about 10 minutes outside of the town centre and nobody came. And then Grant gave me the position at the library where you work. And Grant's come to every single talk club since. At this moment in time, he might as well be he might as well be a co-captain, because
I've told you the first one I came out of pure courtesy just to be nice, but then I enjoyed it so much I came every time. So,
a lot of the times it's just me and Grant having a chat. You know, two guys that don't know each other from complete different walks of life, even have different views on life.
Yeah.
But we have a good chat for 2 hours, and you feel so much better about it. So, talk to the audience about what a talk club session is like.
Yeah, so this talk club that we do is specifically for men age 18 plus. And like I said, we all come from all walks of life, and we simply talk about what's going on, or what's happened in the last month. And it can be good things, it can be negative things, and it's just a time to unleash. Not necessarily a negative way where we're talking bad about people, but it's just how you've navigated through this month and how you feel out of 10 at the start of the session, at the end. And like I said, how people feel at the end, it's a release for them. And you notice them difference, which is why the talk club's so good.
100%. I couldn't agree with you more. What do you feel like you get out of your work with the community engagement workshop? I know you said obviously kind of the impact that you have, but even I've seen it with some of the people that have come to Talk Club. What really inspired you to do something like that?
I think I've always just been a people person, really, in terms of, you know, I pride myself in being approachable, and the line of work I do, even when I used to do media work way back when, it's always been about giving back to the community or people on their projects. So I've always kind of wanted to be a helping hand. Not saying I know all the right answers, but I can at least point you in the right direction. And if I can do that, then
and what do we know from Talk Club as well? I feel like a lot of the time, you don't need to know all the right answers. A lot of the time, the best thing to do is not to know an answer and just stay silent.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, people just need to vent.
I think that's a good lesson in life, even not just away from talk. Like, if you don't know the answer, just listen and just see what plays out.
And own it. If you don't know, go find the right answer. The worst thing to do is BS your way through a script, through a presentation, through a job interview, because it will always come back to haunt you. So no, I completely agree with that. Talk to me about your, I know you're a boxing coach, and that might be getting, getting elevated soon come. So talk to me about your journey with boxing. What transpired your love of boxing?
It just kind of fell into my lap. Because it happened in 2019, and prior to 2019, I wasn't into boxing. I didn't dislike it, but I wasn't into it. The only thing I knew who Anthony Joshua was, I knew who Amir Khan was, Fury. That's the pure basic. Yes, the celeb side of it. And the building that I was working at the time, a new boxing club moved in, and obviously you're friendly with them, they're your tenant, you want them to do well, and then they invited me to a session. I went into one session out of courtesy again, just because I'm nice, I want to help it, and I've never left, and that's 5-6 years ago now.
So what was it? What was it about that type of training?
I think initially I appreciated just the fitness side of it, because I had a few weddings that year I was going to with friends.
You want to get in shape?
Yeah, you want to get in shape, look good in your suit, and I thought, let's just do it over the summer, quick way to lose weight. And then once the summer went, I was still there. And then next thing, it's Christmas, and then that's leading up just to the pandemic, and I've there every single week.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, great fitness. I did Muay Thai in Thailand, and I mean,
in Thailand, very specific. Did you go there just for?
I went there to have fun.
Various reasons.
But no, I went there. I actually went there to do I did a Muay Thai camp for a month and a half in Thailand. The best place to do Muay Thai, right? And we did it at like the cheapest gym, but there's gyms. The gym village that I was a part of had all like the top UFC fighters. It was an amazing experience. Bear in mind, you can do it for obviously in Thailand, the cost of living is so cheap.
Yeah.
And you're just eating clean, you're training hard every day, you're doing like 2 gym sessions a day. Honestly, I went from an Ibiza season with the belly to in Thailand being absolutely shredded in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I was training that hard, rubbing tiger balm on my wounds and then going back to it the next day. What is it about boxing that really did it for you? Because I know that obviously you run and do stuff like that. What was it about boxing?
Well, it's a good release, isn't it? Whether you're sparring or not, it's a good way to really get sweaty quickly in that hour and just kind of let out your frustrations, both mentally and physically. Not to hurt anyone, never that. Just to.
Let me ask you a weird question.
Yeah.
You know how boxers don't ejaculate?
Okay. Yeah.
6 to 8 weeks before.
Oh, right. Yes.
Is there? Do you think there's any, as someone that does boxing, do you think there's any logic to that?
Do you know? I have heard something similar to that, but I've never really questioned it. I just thought maybe
Step Up Unfiltered,
if someone, if someone knows
questions.
the answers, tell me, because I truly don't know the answer. But
well, no, I do kind of get it, because I think when you ejaculate, weird topic of conversation, but you definitely lose focus, you definitely lose energy, you definitely get more tired.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it, because you go into a fight being in probably your most animalistic state, but I do think that like 6 to 8 weeks is extremely excessive. You can probably get that in like 2-3 days.
Yeah.
I don't think you need that long of a time.
I don't know, because like I said, when you're training for a fight, that core 6 to 8 weeks, you really got to be focused. And if that's another way to get you focused, then do it. But the next pro boxer I meet, I will somehow segue into that conversation. Yeah.
Man,
I'll come back and tell you.
Hold your nut if you can. Hold your nut if you can. So you told me about a fight that you had in your talk club session. So if you can tell the audience what happened, did you win? Did you lose? The process.
Yeah. So what makes me laugh is that when I was first training, I said to my head coach, who stood as my head coach, I said, I'm never sparring, I'm never fighting, I'm just here for fitness, don't touch me, basically. And then the pandemic happened, and I was training by myself pretty much, and then I was doing PT sessions with another trainer. And then I said to myself, no one else, I said, I want to do a white collar fight, just for myself, for my own satisfaction, to get that out of my system, to see what would happen. And I took it seriously. I was training for a good year for that. Most people train 8 weeks, as you do. But I was training, it was a whole battle plan in my head. And so I signed up. I slowly told people in my life that I was doing it. I didn't just go in, this is what I'm doing, guys. And then I went through the whole process. I did it with ultra white collar boxing. And I trained at my gym and another gym. And basically lived a life as an athlete, or as close to an athlete that I could get to. And the fight came, I think it was November 12th, 22, and I won. And here's the thing, I went into the fight, it's a mental game. It's a big mental game. And I went into the fight knowing that I was going to win. Whether I was going to win or not, that was another thing. But I knew I had trained enough to secure a win. But at that same time, when the referee holds your hands up, you still never know until they hold your hand up. So the biggest relief possible, and I'm so proud of it. It's one of my biggest achievements. And also, we've raised money for charity. That was the main thing as well.
Amazing.
So it's a great opportunity.
Amazing. And well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you.
I'm still living off that picture. I still tell people. Do you know what I did once? Yeah.
And how long ago was that?
That was November 22. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I think the amount of people that give it all the large amount, Artie Josh was probably the best example. How he's fell off, how he's crap, how he's this. And I reckon 99.9% of those people would never even step foot in the boxing.
Yeah.
So the fact that you did that.
I've seen
a lot of respect.
Men and women come into the gym to this day and say, yes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Never see him again. After one session, never see him again.
Because people just like to juice. People like to chat rubbish.
I think they realise how much hard work it is, especially combat sports. And once they get over that hard hurdle, they're in. That's great. But a lot of people.
I think that's probably where I struggled with, because for me, as you know, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Like, that's just my mindset. But I know that not everybody's built like that, you know? And that's not me saying that I'm better than anybody, but I feel like if you're going to say something, you might as well follow through. But I know that's not always the case.
And if you were to say that to me in the gym at the start, saying that I know it might not happen, that's fine. You should be honest.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you're not going to stick to your plan, or at least give it everything you've got, then just keep to yourself until you're in a place where you can say it.
And guys, this happens with coaching. If you guys can reach out to me for a free consultation call. We can go through, and you're probably going to get some free tips on how you can, turn around your life, how you can improve your life, and I'm more than happy to do so. But the amount of times that people say they want to get coached, they get through to basically sign the agreement, they don't do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably worse in men because of that stigma
Yeah.
about feeling like you need help.
Yeah. But help is always there. So it's not like, if you don't want to do it now, that's fine. But just be honest and say, I don't want to do it now, but I've got your details. I'll come back to you when I feel mentally and physically ready. Perfect. Respect.
I disagree with that because I
Okay.
feel like
Yeah.
we can disagree.
Yeah.
But then I feel like, let's admit, 99 times out of 100, I'm not even gonna say 9 out of 10 times, that is usually, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna follow through.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you feel like that is so common amongst men? And bear in mind, men don't even do things as simple as go to the doctor when they've got a problem.
I think it's just, their pride, isn't it? And their pride for themselves, which everyone's entitled to. So if they want to see something through, they'll do it. If they don't, whereas if they don't, and if they said to people, I will, then a part of them is like, well, they don't come through. So it's just their pride. So if they want to go away and just kind of fall off a little bit, then that's their prerogative.
Yeah, I agree. But I think it's something that men really need to do better at because it's not great. This is stopping men from talking to a talk club, from getting coaching, from getting professional help, from talking to doctors. Hence why the suicide rate is at such a high time level, all time level, should I say? So it's something that definitely, and that's what my thing is. I really want. Forget the money, forget everything. I really want that stigma to change. I'm not saying that men need to be, crying every single day of the week, but what I am saying, and like I feel like I disagree with a lot of people. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a masculine man, but I feel like men also do need to recognise the importance of opening up.
Absolutely, yeah, and how freeing it is to open up.
Oh.
And also never dismiss the power of opening up to a stranger, which is why a lot of people come to talk club or therapies, because you're talking to someone that has no judgment, and sometimes it's easier to do that than talking to your best mate or a family member.
Agreed. I always say the 3 examples, right? You talk to your partner, and you feel like your words might get used against you, which they often do.
Or they
especially if you've got especially if you've got a more emotional partner, right? And they want to get emotion out of you. Your words probably get used against you. Your family is a different age bracket, and you probably don't want to be seen as a burden. Your friends, you don't want to be emasculated. So then, very, very quickly, men are left with nobody, and that is, I think, probably the biggest life lesson. Like, guys, you can try to speak to the people around you, but if you do and you get shut down or you get laughed at, you probably won't do it again. Because as you said, the male ego, the male pride is so high. So they do need another resource.
Yeah.
And we find it all the time. We talk to each other, we didn't know each other, and we always feel better after a talk club session.
Yeah, to the point where each month, because the talk club's once a month, I kind of prepared a day before saying, like, this is what I'm going to talk to Nathan about. And the other people that turn up as well, just because, okay, it's your time to talk whatever we want to talk about.
100%. I got a fine, which was not fun, of £60 for a talk club session. But do you know what? Talk club is worth it.
I did try to help you there, but
you did.
Got you back sometimes.
But the talk club session was like good.
It was good. Yeah.
We had another member, and another member really wanted to vent. So. Do you know what? £60 is worth it for it. I think we definitely helped him, and he said he's going to come back every single month. Yeah. So I will take that. I'll take the £60 bump. So something that I hope you're happy to discuss this, because we didn't actually really. Well, I brought it up before, but one thing that you mentioned is your kind of like need for praise.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Why do you feel like acknowledgement is such a big thing?
Yeah. So when I say need for praise, I don't mean you got to praise everything that I do or people do.
Of course not.
But it's good to kind of give people a pat on the back to acknowledge the work that they're doing, whether it's at the
100%.
forefront or the back front. Because there's never, taking someone to the side saying, do you know, I've seen what you're doing, whether it's on social media or with this group of people, keep it up. That will make their day.
100%.
Whatever it takes. Like, I do a lot of art therapy as well with my line of work. And the stuff that they design, even whether it's good or at a lower level, they've turned up and done that today. And it makes a complete difference. And I've had people disagree, saying, no, the constant need for praise is overrated. No, it's not. It's just, if it's enough to get people through their day, why not give people, and yourself, a compliment as well? Nothing wrong with that.
And how does it affect your personal satisfaction?
It affects it in the sense that, okay, I know I'm making an impact, whether it's for myself or for other people. Like, you're doing your thing.
Amazing. And another thing that we discussed, and this is definitely both of us.
Yeah.
I think we both discussed the feeling of being overwhelmed, and that definitely affects our score out of 10.
Yeah.
How do you manage the stress of being overwhelmed?
Just getting through each month. There's always, as you get older, there's always something you've got to do, whether it's personally, professionally, or just getting through the day.
Yeah, MOT.
Even like cars, whatever. It's just a lot sometimes, and sometimes you've got to save face because you're about to go out to a group of people and deliver work or anything really, and it's just keeping on top of it. So there's no real definitive answer in terms of how you keep on top of feeling overwhelmed. It's just about how you get through each week, each day, each month, and reflecting on how you feel compared to the previous month.
Amazing. Quick thing, because we've only got 3 minutes left. I want to tell you about a situation that happened in London the other day. So I went to a rave. Amazing rave. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes.
I never get invited to raves. I don't know. I didn't even know this.
I invited you to a rave. It was good. It was amazing. I had all my best friends there.
Yeah.
It was my boy's birthday. Anyway, me and one of my friends went to go out after. And we went out after, we went to Shoreditch, and we were trying to find where's good to go. Anyway, we walked into a club, and this guy ran out of a hotel, and my boy grabbed me and was like, "Nathan, chill, like, relax." I was like, "What?" He like grabbed me here. This guy ran out behind the back of me, whips out a samurai sword and slashes somebody.
In front of you?
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Thankfully, he didn't get a good contact, and he got absolutely caved in by like loads of people with other weapons. But it was the craziest thing, I think. And bear in mind, I used to work abroad for like 6 years of my life. I've seen the S word. But that was the craziest thing the other day. Like, what do you think's even happening? Because obviously you go out in London every now and then.
Every now and then, yes.
What is happening?
Well, people clearly have too much access to these dangerous, weapons, equipment. It's always been going on, hasn't it?
Of course, yeah.
But now it's more prevalent because people can film it. People can report it just as quickly.
People can get the clout.
Yes, exactly. So people can get the what, sorry?
Clout.
Clout.
So people, although it makes no sense because you've got more CCTV, so you can get caught. But people actually would prefer to get caught.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And not prefer to get caught, but they want the clout. They want that. Yeah, I've done that to your family. I've done that to your brother. Yeah, that's me.
I think it's because when you see that type of clout that you say, it's sending a message out to people that they want it to reach, and that's unfortunate. It shouldn't happen, but it's always been happening. It's just heightened now because we can see it quicker, we can report it quicker, and it's just one of those things where you just got to look out for yourself in a safe way when you go out, nights out, wherever you go with people that you trust and just get through the night. When your parents say to you, have a good night out, be safe, they mean it. We mean it, because you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. We are back, and we definitely know that Grant is used to this because his ability to answer the questions so quickly and decisively was unmatched.
And I have a clock right there as well, so I'm like, that's perfect. That's a good thing for me,
100%. Doing really, really well. So, I have an opinion.
I know, trust me, I know.
And on Talk Club, like, I let loose, guys. I'm me all the time.
It's not a bad opinion where I'm like, do you know what, this guy, I'm not feeling it like that. It's never that, never. It's just your opinion,
And we can disagree as well. We definitely have disagreed on things in Talk Club. But I want to highlight something close to both of our hearts.
Okay, alright.
The blacks.
Okay, yeah.
Because we are both black.
Yeah.
So I feel like black people are in a ridiculously weak position because black people that are in positions of power, I feel unfortunately just don't do anything. And we can see this. We can see for the LGBT movement how quickly they've got things, policies and legislations pushed through in the last 10 years. The Jews got reparations of 32.5 billion after the Holocaust, but after the slave trade, blacks got nothing. And I feel like what black people have done is we are now known for entertainment. You know, we're the American football player, we're the basketball player, we're the singer, we're the rapper, we're cool. Everyone wants to be the black player, everyone wants to sleep with the black person. But black people are not respected in education, finance. And I just feel like as black people, we need to do so much better because we're focusing on the wrong things. What do you think about that?
Well, I think, in the areas that you say we're not in, I'm sure there is some in that area, but they're not, well, there could be, but what we need to know is to either highlight those areas or if they're not in the areas, like you said, do more to focus on that.
Yeah, but my rebuttal to that is, look, let's admit, like, there's a woman out there that can bench press more than me. But 99.999999999% of women can't.
Okay.
So just because there is somebody that may be able to, it doesn't mean it's an area that is well represented.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
So what do you feel like needs to change, if anything?
What needs to change or could change is the opportunity, the access to opportunity. Because if the opportunity is there, if all these organisations are giving people opportunity, it's like I said, having that black audience go into that and say, yes, you can do it. You can have the confidence to do it, which you may or may not have.
Do you not feel like that takes the onus of us? Because I feel like the opportunity is there. I'm not trying to say that it's pushed in front of your face.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think that at all. But I feel like in the UK and the USA, there's so much opportunity. But I feel like, one, it's more due to poverty more than anything. But I still feel like it's on us to make a difference.
Yeah. So you want
it's even us. I don't even think like black people. I don't think like we need reparations. Yeah. I feel like the slave trades happened a long while ago. It's fine, but I feel like the onus is on us to make a difference. And I feel like the more, and I'm not saying that you're doing this, but like I feel like the more that some black people, and those family members, they just blame the system and this and that. You're just not doing anything. You're just moaning and not making any change.
So do you want people to take accountability for themselves before they...
100%.
Right, okay, alright, yeah. So
100%.
Yeah, so it's a case where, how do you do that? Like, what's out there in terms of what black people can do?
Well, I feel like we need to stop being the... I'm making some big comments here. I feel like we need to stop being the performing monkey.
Okay, alright.
That's a phrase.
Yeah, I do know that phrase. I do.
I saw how that touched you there.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to stop being the Meg the Stallion, and we need to stop being the, oh yeah, my pussy, my this, my that, my this, my that. We need to stop talking about, oh yeah, drugs this, drugs that, drugs this, trap. And I respect it because I love the music and I think it's great, and I understand that people are talking about their life experiences. So what have you got to talk about? And that's your art form. But we need to be known for more than that. Because
well, then again, sorry, this is such a random. In the 90s, when Will Smith used to rap, he had a thing in his head that I'm not gonna talk negatively or swear in it. He actually said that.
Exactly.
And look how successful. I know it's the 90s, a different era.
And do you know what? You got a great point.
Yeah.
And look where he's turned up. He effed up. Our one savior. One of our only saviors.
He was stressed. He was going through things. Okay.
I definitely, but I do not condone what he did.
No.
What I don't rate is, okay, let me ask you a question. Do you feel like, one, he would have done, two examples. Do you think he would have done that to The Rock? And do you feel like he would have done that to, let's say, Mark Wahlberg? Because I don't think he would have done that to either.
No, I think when it happened, I actually watched it live, actually. I think it was specifically for Chris Rock. Like, there must have been something so there was something that happened that we'll probably never know behind the scenes. Do
you know my one rule of fights, and you'll know this better than me as a boxer, you never ever, unless the guy has violated, you never ever fight anybody that's smaller than you. That's why for me, and I don't mean this in a sexist way, I will never fight a woman because...
You shouldn't. Well, exactly,
it's unfair. It's unfair. And also, like I would never ever go out of my way to fight someone that's smaller. Like, someone would have to do the worst thing. for me to even entertain that. Like, you just don't fight someone that's smaller than you.
Exactly.
There's
Like
no
in boxing, you never spar people that are smaller than you. Like you try to, well, you will.
Weight.
You will do it by weight, absolutely.
Yeah, and Chris Rock is significantly smaller than Will Smith.
Yeah.
Will Smith's like 6'2", and in some movies being like flipping Muhammad Ali, like a Greek god.
Yeah.
Chris Rock is an extremely small man.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Even like, I had somebody on the podcast and he was saying the need for black excellence, and I get it, but even our excellence, our excellency.
No one's perfect. No one's perfect in life. That's
Yeah, I
it.
get that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I completely agree. But you don't slap somebody on stage.
No, but
That's
it's
crazy.
With that situation, it's happened. It shouldn't have happened. We all agree of that.
Fair enough.
And they have, both of them have the right to move on and try and rebuild.
Fair
from
enough.
That, which they're doing in their own way.
Fair enough. What's your opinion on white people saying the N-word? And the reason why I bring this up is because there was a video of Rick Ross getting beaten up by Drake's people,
Yeah.
people that represent Drake.
Yeah.
And in the video, all you heard was the white guys from Canada, and you know about that beef, the whole
Yeah,
Future,
yeah.
Drake, everything. But everybody was coming at Drake. Rick Ross played, I think, a diss track in Canada after one of his shows. What's your views on white people saying the N-word?
Well, they shouldn't say it. Absolutely. There's no pass. I've heard
Even in a song?
No, don't say it. It's absolutely not.
Okay, yeah,
You know, as a black person, I don't even like saying it. You know,
Yeah,
there's
same.
I don't agree. I'll take ownership of the word. You know, no, and there's no pass for someone else of a different race saying it. Don't say
Completely
it.
agree.
It's just no.
I used to do something, and I'm gonna say this on my podcast because F it, why not? my best friend always reminds me of this, and he always laughs. So not something that I'm proud of, but F it. So we were working in Malia,
Right.
and
Set the
there's
scene,
a lot
okay.
of I know, and there's a lot of like Israelis that come before they're about to go to war, or at least do military service. Anyway, basically, it could have been an English person, but it's usually like foreign people. If they come up to me and said the N-word, even in like a term of endearment, I used to make sure that they used to give me €5 or buy me a drink at the bar.
Okay. Right.
That was just my thing.
But did you-
Because it used to burn me
Yeah.
so much, white people saying the N-word, and it still kind of does, but I've kind of had to get used to the fact that it's just a popular term, which I still hate to this day, but I completely agree with you
But when
that
you're-
nobody should say
Yeah.
it, black people shouldn't say
But when
it.
you're in school, you're taught about black history. You are. Well,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
about 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and you're taught that that's a bad word, and that's always stayed with me ever since.
Mate, I like, for me, if I'm ever going to get into a fight on a night out, which I haven't done for years, like probably like 5 to 10 years, that's a lie, 5 to 8 years, the only thing you could probably say to me that could get me into a fight is if I'm with a girl,
Yeah.
as in a girlfriend, not just a random
Yeah,
girl,
yeah, yeah.
and you've disrespected my girl,
Mhm.
or if you call me the N-word.
Yeah.
Like, that's the
Yeah,
only
yeah,
thing that's
yeah,
really
yeah.
getting me riled up.
Yeah.
If you say something else to me, I'm probably stomaching that, and I'll just get into a verbal back and forth with you.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that could really trigger me,
Yeah.
because what people don't deep is slavery. I guess especially the American slave trade was only 100 years ago.
Yeah.
It really was not that long ago. And that's what was used to belittle black people, right? Black people were seen as like 3/8 of a human. Like, we weren't even seen as basically human. Like, you know, we had to piss in different areas. Like, we weren't allowed to interracial date. All these things that we have the luxury of now. So saying that word, it cuts so deep.
Yeah.
And like, for me, what I don't understand is like, I've never had it in me. Like, even me, reflecting on my own behaviour, I've never had it in me to... I don't have lots of Asian friends. I've had Asian friends over the years, come and go. But I've never had it in me to ever say the P word.
No, never.
Because
No.
I don't understand, like black people are like, oh, yeah, but why can't we say it as well? I'm like, that's the worst argument I've ever heard in my life. Because I don't have it to offend another race,
no.
just for the sake of it.
Yeah. Even in our town, Luton is a very, very multicultural town. So
Extremely.
you're gonna cross people in all walks of life, and
Yeah.
you've got to be respectful.
I completely agree. What's your opinion on... Sorry. So I had these. I wanted to come to some of these talking points.
Yeah.
On white people commenting on black issues. Again, the reason why I bring this up. So Michael Rubin, which is an extremely rich guy. I believe he owns one of the record labels. There was a picture of Lil Baby hugging a couple of guys and people clowning him about it. And Michael Rubin said something that I believe was completely in his right to say, saying basically I've never known basically a race to like combat each other so much. And I completely agree with that. Like black people, you don't see this from any other racial group. Black people get on each other so much, even on the Shea Borough.
Oh, yes.
A black person could do something good, people are like, oh yeah, but
Yeah,
he's only doing that because he's got this. It's like, what the hell? What's your opinion on white people commenting on black issues, and why do you think there's such a combative nature in the black community?
I think, when you say about white people commenting on, there are some, white people that are good people who want to support and show the black people that they are supporting. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you talk about from the negative point of view, like why are they getting involved? It's just because it's there, you can see it. And if the people are talking about it, and like I said, especially in 2020, when we had the Black Lives Matter really pushed to the forefront, they feel that they can talk more about it more. But they're talking in a way that, yes, I am educating myself, I'm listening, tell me, I want to have these discussions, there's nothing wrong with that. But if they are talking in a way that, get over it, it was years ago, yes, that's not a right way to look at it, isn't it?
Yeah. Completely agree. I completely agree. Last talking point I want to get into before we plug.
You mentioned about black people getting into each other.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe it's just say for example, if a big rapper or singer sold 10 million records and people were negative about it, they'd probably be negative because they're a bit, jealous or envious of it.
But why do you think there's so much jealousy in the black community? Because I don't see this from others. I definitely that is a lie. I definitely think that's actually a lie. Crap talking point from me, because I think there's jealousy everywhere. It doesn't matter which racial group you're in. But there's so much like openly combativeness in the black community.
I don't know. I think you're gonna have to ask every single person, because everyone has an opinion on why they're.
I mean, for me, I don't have anything against it, but it's so evident. Like, just look at the Shea Borough, which is just a gossip channel, right? Yeah. All it is black people arguing against each other all day long. Look at black Twitter. Yeah. Look at a black guy goes on Love Island. Yeah. Like, all it is black Twitter. This, that. Such a need for an opinion.
I think that combativeness is no different from when we had that combativeness on the playground or at the pub or whatever. It always has existed, but now people can get brave behind a screen and really go for it. And I think that's just because that's what social media is about.
So you feel like it's not really like a race thing, it's just a people thing?
Oh no, definitely can be a race thing in certain situations, but I think people have allowed, social media especially, has allowed people to get very brave. Yeah. And not take accountability for their words. Because when you meet that person in person, you're probably going to give them respect or give them a handshake or something.
People never say anything.
No.
Think about all these celebrities, right? The amount of people that talk crap about them, they never ever punch them in the face.
Yeah. So
people are just absolute weaklings when it comes to that. So one question that I wanted to ask you before we do our plugs. Yeah. So to stay on the issue of race, I thought about this the other day. I want to get your opinion. Yeah. So P Diddy, I don't know if you know about the crimes that he's done.
Yeah.
Diddy, the diddler.
Yeah. And I heard this alleged story years ago. We were talking about this in college, like 10, 15 years
ago.
Alleged stories, yeah.
And Robert Kelly, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the case of Diddy, right? Yeah. And definitely R. Kelly. They definitely slept with women of all races, right? And maybe even men.
Yeah.
Why do you think they only targeted black people?
What do you mean, media targeted them or them? R. Kelly and
they only abused black people that we know.
I don't know.
I thought about this, it popped in my head and it really disturbed me.
I never thought about it that way. I think it's just, especially in Diddy's world, the hip hop world as well, that's who
he dated J-Lo.
He did.
And he didn't seem to abuse J-Lo, so...
Well, as far as we're aware, we never know what really happened, we don't know. But I think also because J-Lo, especially at that time, she was such, or still is, in such a position of status and power. If she could have, I don't know what I'm saying. It's different because she was J-Lo, you know. But
I
not
don't
that
think
she
it's
make a
that though.
difference.
I think the scary truth is, I think again it's a race issue. I
Mm.
think these guys think they can get away with it more,
Yeah.
unfortunately, because they're black.
Possibly,
And
yeah.
that
Yeah.
actually disturbs me because
I know, yeah.
think about it, like as big as J-Lo's ever been,
Mm.
I don't think she's ever been bigger than Diddy.
No.
So, and Diddy's dated plenty of famous people.
Yeah.
Plenty of famous people. So it's something in the race where he thought, oh, okay, I can get away with the blacks,
Yeah.
but I can't get away
The
with
thing
it.
is with Diddy, there was never a point where I felt like he was going to get away with it. I always knew this was going to happen. I always knew.
Yeah.
All it took was one. In this case, I think, was it Cassie that got the ball rolling in
Yeah.
terms of that? But so whatever's come out about, you know, people like Diddy or R. Kelly, is only a matter of time.
Can't stop, won't stop.
No.
No, really, really good answer. So thank you, Grant. That has been amazing.
Yeah.
What do you want to plug?
I was gonna say, I really have to think today in terms of like, bringing these conversations. But yes, like I said at the start, I am a boxing coach now. We are based in Luton. We're doing really well in terms of what we're offering the community. My club is called Dallow Farley Community Boxing, Amateur Boxing, sorry. Let me say it again. Dallow Farley Amateur Boxing Club. And we are based in Farley Hill. We are open 2 nights a week, and we are for the community. You can be a boxer, you can just want to get fit. We're open to men and women. And if you want more information, follow us on social media on Instagram at Dallow_ABC, on Facebook at Dallow Farley Boxing Club. Also, our head coach, follow him at Keep Fighting Fit, 'cause that's another association in terms of PT sessions. But we're all about helping the individual, both mentally and physically. We're very approachable. That's what I keep saying. You know, come into our gym, we're the nicest coaches you ever meet. We're tough in terms of getting what you want, getting the best out of you, but we're very approachable, and that does help a lot of people. People come and they stay, and that's what we're very proud of at Dallow Farley.
Yeah, I love that. And I think with men as well, what I've realised with doing Talk Club for over a year now is that men feel a lot more comfortable sharing
Yeah.
through doing some sort of exercise.
Yes, because like I said, it benefits both ways, because
Yeah.
they're getting fit, they're getting mentally fit, and they can open up about whatever they want to open up, especially
Yeah.
in a one-to-one session as well.
Exactly.
And
I think it's because men are so logical as well. Like it's like there needs to be a need.
yeah.
It's like the need is, it's like in coaching, right? The need might be the fact that you can't, your sex life's gone crap with your wife.
Yeah.
But realistically, the actual thing that you gain from it is the fact that you've lost all your confidence, right?
Right.
It's like the same thing in boxing,
Yeah.
right? Like the need is because you put on a bit of belly,
Yeah.
but realistically, what you're actually getting for it is that sense of camaraderie,
Yeah.
having a team,
Yeah.
having friends. Like there's so much more
Yeah.
that comes from doing something that you know is going to better yourself.
And I always say, for me personally, boxing came at the exact perfect point in my life. Because because where I was based, I said I was based in the building that they were running. I was actually meant to leave that place a year before, but I didn't because of certain situations. And I always say, what made me stay the extra year? If I didn't stay the extra year, boxing would never have come into my life. And that's crazy to think now, so it completely changed
Crazy.
everything. So it was the powers to be above that said, rate that year, because something's coming. And that's what I try to tap into people when they come. Like, you're here for a reason, we're gonna find that reason. You might be here for a couple of weeks and then go, absolutely fine. You might be here indefinitely, but just give it a try at Dallow Farley Boxing. You never know, you might be raising your hand in the ring.
100%.
Doing anything.
100%. And guys, make sure you check out Talk Club. As I said, Talk Club from me and Grant, it is literally a men's mental health group. There's lots and lots of talk clubs in all different towns over the country, so find your local one. Great opportunity for you just to open up. There's different types of talk groups. So the one that me and Grant run is literally just a talking session. I'm a coach, so I feel like that kind of, I can use a lot of my skills as a coach. However, there's lots of different ones. There's talk and walks, there's talks and football, so you actually have a little kick around. There's golf groups, there's online groups if you can't make the physical sessions. There's so many opportunities, and it is all free.
All completely free, and we take place the first Monday of each month, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Luton Central Library in the centre of town. You can't miss it.
100%, and we've got really exciting news as well. We're going to do a charity event, which is upcoming with Luton Town Football Club, which I'm so excited about, because again, unfortunately, with men, you need, it can't just be come to a charity event, Luton Town Football Club, ooh, football. So we're going to work on getting club legends, we're going to work on getting active players there. You're going to get me, you're going to get Grant, you're going to get people talking, you're going to get people on the decks. It's going to be a really, really fun, free event for you guys. So stay tuned and reach out to one of us. Thank you so much, Grant.
Thank you for having me.
Cindy, would you like to come on for the last 5 minutes of the podcast? Thank you as well for coming such a long way.
That's okay.
It's alright.
I don't mind.
Get yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
So a few questions that I want to ask you. So how did your experience as an ex-offender shape your journey and create kind of like a positive outlook on life?
It's made me like 100% realize, not the whole give up on your dreams thing, but like there's just, especially being in there whilst it was the pandemic, it's like there's nothing to lose. Like whatever you want to do it, go for it, you know. Like as I said, I've always wanted to, I love fashion. Like I've literally had my head in magazines since I was 13, like always just in the industry, you know, all sorts of gossips and stuff.
I seen one of your fits, the denim fit, very revealing, sexy but very revealing.
Me?
Yeah, on your Instagram.
Oh, I don't know what
it's
you're
like one of the most
talking
recent ones, the blue.
What, the leg? Oh, the boots.
No, so it's like the one with the arses up.
Denim.
Yeah, it's like.
I don't know if that's me. Oh
yes.
Oh, you mean the outfits that I'm saying?
I do my research. It's definitely.
I thought you meant what I was wearing because I was like, No. Yeah. That's so basically my reflection is this is me if I was skinny.
Oh.
So if I could wear it, I would wear it. But I know some people like, and then a lot of my friends have just people over the years just said you've got good taste, you've got style. But I try to cater for different people and different occasions necessarily, because you can be out and bad in a dancehall scene, but obviously you wouldn't be like that maybe in a little English rave. So I've got my thing is celebrity inspired outfits, celebrity inspired streetwear or hip hop.
So I'm going to ask you a question that's a little bit left field that I definitely did not think about before. Why do you feel, and you'll know this as a fashion designer as well yourself, and you could argue that you've probably done some of these designs, why is everything so sexualized nowadays? Why is everything like, you gotta have we're both Jamaican, lick a bit of skin out.
Yeah, everything.
Lick a piece of skin.
We've just, you know what, being like, I've always been in dancehall, like throughout school, everything, never left it. And I think it's just, I think it might be the influence from the other countries. Remember, we're quite close to Brazil. We've got like, you know, Central America and America as well. So they're very heavily industry, and obviously in the States, a lot of black girls are strippers.
Do you know what?
Or the whole beauty, and the BBL thing is enhanced as well.
Yeah, but that's bad. Because people are dying from BBLs as well. It's a
yeah,
very
now
dangerous
they are,
surgery.
but you see, for someone who always was bottom heavy and not top heavy, no one didn't want to chat to me on stage, you know. I had no chest. Everything was breast and face. No one ever want shape back in the day. I was 15 and people used to be like, and I'm like, what is wrong with everyone?
Yeah, but like, serious, like, surely as opposed to going on the surgery table, is gym not the better answer?
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but that's laziness.
It's not. I go gym and my bum's always gonna be square. I'm always gonna have a square.
That's not true. That's not true.
So it's gonna be. I'm getting gel anyway. So reach out.
Hey, I got you. Do you know what? I'll put you on a training program, yeah. And if you followed it within a year, you'd lose.
But you see, I like my bottom half. It's my tummy I don't like. But I've just said, look, I know what I'm gonna do.
Hey, we like the fun.
And my friend,
we like them turbo thick.
My friend said, look, you're fine. Yeah, you don't need to do nothing. And I was saying to him, you're right. I get you, but I want to do it for me. So I was saying, make sure you don't try to grab, no look, no see, no touch, nothing when it's done. Because what you're saying, if I had it, you'd grab it. But you're telling me not to do it. So you look, but don't touch, please. You can't be saying one thing, you know.
You're chaos. Moving on. I want to really get your opinion on something that's really, really current. So, as an ex-offender yourself, what are your views on prisoners leaving early? Obviously, so what was it? People that had 50%
you know what?
have gone down to so 40%.
So being in there since 2019,
Let me just get the facts out just so people understand. So 1,700 prisoners got released early, and it was supposed to be just petty crimes. However, some of them have been domestic abusers. So what's your opinion on that?
But then you don't know how long they've served. So you could hear someone getting out early. They could have had 10 and they've done 6. They might have had 2 years left for parole. And then whoever feels that they can survive or be controlled or contained in the community. That's the risk that they take. But probation is always, the wavelength is always, frequency is always up and down with them. Something happens, erupts, they and when it's quiet now, they'll do some crap like this. And then when something as a result, drastic, major happens, then it will be another thing. And trust me, I'm queen of probation. Put it that way. I was doing probation. It kept me out of jail for a long time, but I'm very systematic. I understand. Look, I've been in them. I'm not even institutionalized because I was aware of what it was and I knew what I was going into and how it is. But I have to let some of these people that I work with know that I've been in this system before you even qualified. So please.
Cindy, honestly, you smashed it. I'm so glad that you've obviously come such a long way. You've had a great podcast, and thank you for coming on. Another great episode of Step Up Unfiltered, guys, and see you soon on the second Thursday of the month.